Back for our feature spotlight segment, and I already know it's going to be one of my favorites because I love the ability Business Central has to integrate with Microsoft Teams. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about that integration. Professor Ken is going to be leading this session, brushing up on your.
Oh yeah, I have my PowerPoint all prepared.
Yeah. It's your practice for BCUG.
Yeah.
Or whatever they call it now.
No, I think so. Yeah, there's a lot of buzz around Teams. Obviously, people have been using Teams a lot over the past year or so.
Yeah, good time.
And so and it's a Microsoft product, so you should work with Business Central. And Microsoft has done a really good job of incorporating that. So a couple things. So first of all, if you're running Business Central online, this is all built-in, natively available functionality, right?
As long as you have the subscriptions, right?
But yeah, Business Central Online.
Teams, I don't know, is this included with the free aspect of Teams?
Teams, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I believe so. And then, so if you, now you do, if you want to start using it, what you do need to do is open Teams, and in the bottom left corner, there's an apps button, and then you can do a search in there for Business Central. And so you do have to install the Business Central app. And then once it's done, basically now Business Central knows that you're ready to go, right?
I think because you already have the app installed, can't find it.
So what can you do? So what are there's two, I'm going to just do two general categories of things that you can do with Business Central and Teams. The first thing is you can be in Business Central. Let's say I just set up an item record and I did my best effort at setting up this new item record, but I'm not 100% sure how we want to do purchase planning for this. Like what do we want the reorder point to be? Mm-hmm. How many do we want to reorder when we get to that point? So I can do everything. I can set up the item in Business Central, and then up on my browser, I can copy the URL, go into Teams, create a chat, and then just copy and paste that URL to someone else in my organization. And I can say something like, hey, can you just please make sure I set up the planning information correctly on this item? And what'll happen is it sends to that person an actual image, like a picture, a box that has the item in it, a picture if you have it, the item number, description, some other information about the item.
So Teams is automatically recognizing that this is a Business Central link or whatever.
Correct.
And it makes that connection.
Correct.
In the background.
And that's because you installed the Business Central app, right? And you put that URL in there. It recognizes that and actually builds in this picture of the item.
Now I might be wrong in this, but I think your login information has to be the same in Microsoft Teams.
Correct.
As well as Business
Central. You have to be part of the same organization, right? Okay. And it is doing permissions checks, right? So if when I send this email, when I send this chat, this Teams chat to someone in my organization, they'll get this chat. They see they've got a new message that says, hey, can you check out my planning information here? You kind of have two options. You can click on a details button, and the details button will open a little window in Teams, which is the item card. Mm-hmm. And right from there, you can hit the little pencil icon up on the top to say make changes on the page. And you can actually edit the information right in here. So you can say, well, okay, they set the maximum, my reorder point to 100. Let's actually set that reorder point to 120. And it actually saves those changes into Business Central right there.
Nice.
Very nice. If you wanted to, you could hit another button called Pop Out, and it actually pops you into Business Central, the full client, where you then could go, again, you're still looking at the item card, but it's a more complete item card with other drop downs and options and things available.
It opens up another tab in your browser.
Right.
With
So you actually leave Teams and move into Business Central, whereas with the details button, you're actually still just operating inside Teams.
Now, when I tested this out, you can virtually do any link to any page that I tried.
Right.
And paste it into Teams and it worked. I
Yep.
was actually surprised.
Yep.
I didn't find any page that it didn't work.
Yeah, so it could be someone, I've set up a new customer and I then copy a link to that new customer record to you and say, hey, Michael, please set their credit limit,
Yeah.
right, to the credit manager, or make sure that I'm not sure if they're tax liable or not for
Right.
sales tax or something, right? So you can send it to the accounting person to kind of a easy, simple approval process, right? Hey, as soon as you get set it up, send a link over to the credit manager, have them
Mhm.
approve the entry.
I think features like this within Teams need to be adopted more by companies. I think they have them and they try them, but I don't think they use them as often as they should, just because it's not habit yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
I love it. We were talking earlier. I think Teams in the future is basically going to be the hub for everything. I think eventually you'll have your email here. You'll be able to access everything through Microsoft Teams. So
yeah,
it's a pretty cool feature.
Yeah, it's all blending kind of together between Office 365,
Yeah.
Teams, Business Central, more and more. It's hard to tell where you're actually sitting.
Yeah.
Right, because you have availability and visibility through all these different applications.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing, right? Sending a link to someone in a chat to work on something together, whether it's a sales order, setting up a new item, a new customer, maybe confirming quality of a production order or something, all there. The second thing you can do is you can search your contacts directly from within Teams. Search your Business Central contacts. Yes. Right. So in Business Central, you've got, right, all your contacts, all your customers, your vendors, maybe prospects you've loaded in there if you're using the Business Central CRM system. So it's all in there. So, and this one was a little tricky for me. I'll admit it.
Yeah.
I have the app installed in Teams for Business Central, and I have a big search box up on the top. So I just thought,
cut and dry.
I'm just going to click on the search box and I'm going to search for my contact.
Yep.
Right. So I've got one called Ken Yahoo in there, which is like a different email address that I have in my demonstration database. I search for it and I get no results. And I'm like, well, what the heck?
What's going on, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there is a little trick. The little trick is when you up in that search box, up on the top of your Teams window, you type in @Business Central first. And what it'll actually do is change your search box. It puts the Business Central logo in there.
Yeah.
And it says it says search for business contacts. And it says you'll be searching in Cronus USA, whatever your company is. And then to switch companies, you go to settings. And there's a little ellipse button where you can actually go into settings and you can change your default company.
Really?
If you have multiple companies inside, or even which environment. If you want to do testing inside one of your sandbox environments, you can change it to point your Teams client to a sandbox environment.
It's pretty cool. So you're not relegated just to the company that you're actually in.
Right.
In your.
Yep. And then now when you search, now it will pull up your contact records. And again, you have those same two options. It pulls up a kind of a summarized contact card, and then you can either hit details to see the full contact card inside of Teams, or hit pop out and actually pop into Business Central and have full access.
Yeah. I actually like how you have to choose Business Central up in the search box, because it's stopping you from making mistakes that you might make by choosing the wrong contact just for a normal chat within Teams or whatever.
Yep.
So I like how you have to segment it to find your contact.
The user has to make that conscious decision. I want to go look, I want to search through my Business Central contacts here. Right. Now, if you hit the little X up on the search box when you're done, it'll kind of return your search window to the standard search window. Right. Nice. So now you can search through things inside Teams again.
I don't know if you know this. You've ever seen, so that little search bar, I guess, has a whole bunch of kind of different functionalities where you can put in different characters to do different things as well. It's pretty great. There you go.
You can put a / for a list of commands.
Yeah, there you go.
Although
you're under person or something. think you chose person maybe.
Oh, did I? Let's try that again. So if I type, oh, slash, I
Yeah.
see. So if you type a forward slash, you can see someone's activities, set your status one way or another, call someone, send a quick message,
Nothing for Business Central.
join a team, see keyboard shortcuts, see someone's org chart, make a test call, see your unread activity, see what's new in Teams, ask a question.
Interesting.
Right.
Pretty
that's-
cool.
That's
I like
I
it.
think it's, again, if you're using Business Central Online and you're using Teams, you install the app. You can start and immediately start copying and pasting links, or use the @Business Central in the search to start searching your contacts.
Perfect. All right. Well, that's that. Next up, we've got the special featured app segment. We'll talk about a plant maintenance app that we tried to install, and then App Source first, non-App Source
Sounds
apps.
very exciting.
Well, yeah.
I don't
Stay
wanna-
tuned. There might be a little venting in the next segment. So in my head, I'm going through it as I'm talking about it, but it's going to be pretty exciting, I think.